Okay, you guys, so my dog decided that right now would be the best time to eat some brunch, apparently. So you might hear him eating in the background because it's right by the camera. Sorry. Okay, so 38 weeks. I'm 38 weeks and 2 days today. If you've been watching our daily vlogs until labor, then you're pretty much caught up on everything that's been happening. But I'm going to get into more details and talk about my midwife appointment that I had yesterday. So basically the craziest thing that happened this week was last Sunday morning when I woke up for, I don't know what time it was. I woke up and I was, now he's drinking, awesome. I woke up and I was having contractions and they hurt. They were intense and they hurt and they weren't super regular, which you know, that's usually means it's false labor. However, I have a friend recently who had a baby who her contractions were never that regular, and so and she ended up having her baby super quick. So there's always exceptions to the rules. But anyway, but regardless, they were varying lengths of intensity, and they were just crazy. They were painful. So they were bad enough though, and intense enough that like I had to sway and I had to like lean over things, and I had to stop what I was doing when they would come. And in between, we were trying to like get everything finalized. Like we already had, you know, most everything ready to go, but there was a few things that we'd actually planned on doing the next day. So I was kind of in this weird state of like, is this for real? Like, I don't know. And eventually, when they didn't stop, and I don't remember exactly how the course of the morning went, but I don't remember if this happened before or after, but at some point I even got into the bath because they say that the bath will slow them down and whatever, and I got into the bathtub and the bathtub felt wonderful. And it felt like it kind of slowed them down, but then they started coming again. And what's funny is after I'd been in the bath, the bath like regulated them. Like they started coming more regular. Like, so then I was like, okay, maybe this actually is it. And I was like, I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I should actually contact anybody, if I should tweet it, you know, to share with you guys. Like it was just in this weird state of like, what is happening? Like, I guess I just was not prepared, and neither was Kyle. Kyle was kind of like, okay. And finally, after about 4 hours, it started to get to where I could kind of, I was so exhausted, I would try to sleep in between them. And as I could sleep, like my body relaxed and they just started to die down. And I fell asleep for a little while and had some during the sleep, like that Kyle would pay attention to, and then didn't have any for like, it wasn't very long. But I kind of fell asleep, and then I woke up having one, and then I woke up, and as soon as I stood up, I had another one. So I was like, I want to go lay back down. So I went and laid back down, and it's kind of the same thing. Was still kind of having them, but was able to start relaxing and fell asleep for about 45 minutes at that point. Got up again, and felt a lot better, and was like walking to go check the laundry with Kyle, and then I started getting them again. So I went and laid back down, and then I slept for a couple hours, and when I woke up then it was like they were done. And that's when we went out, like we were like, let's go do some stuff, because clearly whatever. And so anyway, it was just so crazy. I've never had, you know, both the kids. With Grayson, I had that prodromal labor, the early labor, where it is real labor, but it's not true labor. It's real labor, but it lasts a long time. It's early labor. And so I have never had anything with that kind of intensity where I wasn't actually already fully into labor. I've never had that pain. Like I've never done that. And so I was like, what? And so I kind of expected to maybe do it again that next night, but the next night I didn't do anything. And then I actually was like, had less contractions for a while. So it was weird. It was just, so I don't know. It was just like the weirdest thing. It was kind of like, what was that? But there we go. So that was like that kind of long sum of story, and we talked about it in that vlog, the daily vlog from Sunday. And we're in real time right now. Like I film and I post the same day. So all the vlogs that you're seeing are daily vlogs to labor. They are same day. They might not go up till like that night, because obviously I don't finish filming or you know, updating until later in the day. And some of them are longer and some of them are shorter, but we're filming every day. So that's the Sunday one if you want to go see it. And then besides that, I actually feel like since then, my Braxton Hicks my Braxton Hicks early, or whatever they are, they have decreased, and like I feel like I don't get them as I'm not getting them as much, although I still get them a lot. I'm gonna get to that, but the thing is like when I have them, they're really intense, and sometimes they have an edge to them, and sometimes they make me like almost squirm, where I'm like, okay, like that. And so I think I'm definitely having some prodromal labor, like I really do. I was kind of you know, I didn't have this with Sophie at all. I had it with Grayson, but whatever. It just is what it is. It's happening. So, other than that, I got my ankle swelled up for like, really swelled up for like the first time. So I was like, but it went away really quick. And I'd been really active that day, like running around. I was out in the humidity. And that's really the first time that that's happened like that. And so, and it went away so quickly. As soon as I got my feet up, it just started to go away. And it wasn't anywhere else, so that was good. But it just, I was like, oh, I hate this, like I hate that part, you know. And I've been fortunate this pregnancy to not really do that. I did it a lot more with my other two, so you know, whatever. I'm glad that it went away really quick. I'm glad it wasn't like a big deal. And other symptoms. Oh, I forgot to say that on Sunday morning when I was having all that, I was getting really nauseous with them too. So that's fun. And then since then, let's see, I had my midwife appointment yesterday. And we went in and I did my little test strip and everything came back good. Showed I was well hydrated, no protein, blah, blah, blah. My blood pressure was great. No more, I still haven't gained any more weight. So that was awesome. I haven't gained weight in like 2 or 3 weeks, I think. So I'm still at 14 pounds. I think I'm at like 14.1 pounds or something like that. And, but here's the thing. So last week I measured 37 weeks. I measured exactly like on my mark. And the week before I measured ahead. And the week before that I measured right on my mark. And the week before that I measured 1 week ahead. Most of the time I've been measuring 1 week ahead. But sometimes I measure right on. And then yesterday when she was measuring me, I was measuring closer to 40 weeks. I was like, why am I measuring almost 2 weeks ahead? And I know that that's normal, but I was like, what? But then I was having a Braxton Hicks while they were measuring, and the baby got like, after the baby was like moving around stiff. And anyway, when she measured me again later, she got less than that. So it just shows you that like measuring your belly is kind of it's not an exact science. But even so, she said even if I was measuring 40 weeks ahead, which like I said, I ended up not measuring again when they did it again. But she was like, that's fine, that's within the normal range. But I was just like, I didn't even gain any weight, like how is that possible? But sometimes it's the position of the baby. So then let's move on to the position of the baby. So the baby, as you guys, I talked about in our daily vlogs and it was on Instagram. If go to Instagram and look at the photo of my 38-week belly, and that baby is low. I thought she dropped a couple weeks ago, and she did, but man, it's even more so that she just dropped down so low. However, just because she dropped down low doesn't mean she's engaged in my pelvis, and it turns out she's not. So she is really low, but she literally is like sitting on like the outside of my stomach, and that's why my stomach all of a sudden just got really like, I mean, it's been big, you know, big pregnant stomach. But it's like it got like really big, like protruding, like it's like sticking out more, and it's because she dropped down, but she's like kind of leaning out, like she's like taking up that outer part of my stomach, and that explains why I've been having all of these like sharp ligament pains on the bottom of my stomach, like that make it hard to walk, and it's because it's like her whole weight is like in the pit of my stomach, and I'm like, just put your head into my pelvis and stop leaning on the outside of my stomach, little baby girl, because it's crazy. But they'll do what they do. So anyway, so the midwife asked if she could check me, and I was like, sure, you know, because they don't like to do a lot. She's like, all right, I'm going to check you. I'm going to be really gentle. She goes, I just really want to see where her head's at. She's like, because she looks so low, but she goes, it feels like her head is like blah, blah, blah. Anyway, So she checked me, and I was softer, but not like, but still like kind of firm, but softer. And I was dilated to like a 1. She said it could have been a 2, but she didn't want to stick her finger in to get the exact amount. So she said it could have been a 2 or even slightly more, but she said it's at least a 1, because they have to kind of stick their finger in to get the like amount, and she just doesn't want to stir up anything. Although I have to tell you, at this point I was like, stir away, but no. So anyway, so yeah, so none of that. So she barely could check that. She just wanted to make sure I wasn't at like a 4 already or something, because that can be, you can be at a 4 and not even be in labor. Because she's like, if you were already at that point, she's like, when you go into labor, it could be so fast, it would be scary. So she was kind of like happy I wasn't. And just FYI, in subsequent pregnancies, it's very common for your baby to not engage into your pelvis until you are already in active labor. It's very common. And so a lot of times people get really excited about if they're dilated to certain points, and it means nothing. This baby is doing exactly what Grayson did. Grayson, I remember we thought I was dilated more, but then when I got rechecked the day I had already started being in actual labor with him, the lady was like, no, you're like a 1 and his head is super high and blah, blah, blah. And I ended up having him, you know, like 8 hours later after that point. And so it just doesn't, basically you have contractions and that will bring the baby's head down onto your cervix and open it up. And it doesn't mean anything. You can be at a 4, one person can be at a 1 and have their baby in 6 hours later, you know, and it's another person can be at a 4 and not have their baby for another week. So you can't get you can't get super excited or read too much into it. But I know that, I have my own, you know, I've experienced that with Grayson where nothing was happening, but it didn't matter because once I went into labor, it was like, bam. So I assured her that I was not going to be disappointed by this information at all. It didn't surprise me. It's exactly what I expected. Because this is what I did with Grayson, and Grayson just kept his little head up in my stomach until right when he was like ready to come out, and then he was like, bloop. So there we go. So there was that. So then she decided she wanted to do an ultrasound just to kind of confirm, because she said her head just felt like she couldn't quite tell what her head was doing. And so we went to get the ultrasound, and yeah, she's definitely really low. She's not engaged low, but she's low. And she's looking to the side. So she's not sunny side up or the right way. She's like looking to the side, but she's just down real low, and her back's curled up onto my left side with her little butt way up high, just like she's kind of been. And so yeah, she's definitely, like I said, the good thing is she's 100% confirmed head down, and she's very low. So as soon as my body starts having real contractions, she'll slip into the pelvis, and that'll be that. So, you know, the thing is though, is that the amount, at one point during my appointment, Connie asked me, the midwife, she asked me, she said, would you say you're getting like 6 Braxton Hicks a day, more like 12? And I was like, 12? I was like, I get 12 like in like 2 hours. I was like, what are you serious right now? I was like, no, I get so many a day. And my appointment alone wasn't even an hour, and I had 8 or 9. Like, and she felt them, so I wasn't exaggerating. I would like show her, be like, here. She would just be like, okay, wow. So she said just like the number I'm having, like my body is definitely like, aha. It's just, I haven't slipped into that next level yet. But she said that, you know, it's just doing that, it just makes things like weird, because you just never know. At one point it's just gonna flip, the switch is gonna flip, and you're gonna go from just having like, I'm having those, you know, early labor Braxton Hicks contractions all the time now, and at one point they're just gonna flip and turn into the real thing. And she's like, you just don't know. Like I've already had several in this video, and it's not that long. Like I've had at least 3. So I don't know, it's crazy, but I've been here before. I've done this with Grayson, so, but yeah, but at least these are kind of, I don't know. So basically today, it was about 2 in the morning, I woke up and I was just kind of crampy. Felt kind of crampy. I went to the bathroom, I came back, I laid down, I still felt crampy. I was like, well, maybe I need to go to like the bathroom, right? So I went, no, I didn't need to like go to the bathroom, I was just crampy. So I laid back down, I just had trouble going to sleep, and I just watched some videos on my phone and finally fell asleep. When I woke up, I felt crampy. And I felt crampy all day. Just crampy. and I've had, like, some of the Braxton Hicks I've gotten today have been, definitely had more of a painful edge to them. And they've seemed pretty regular, but really far apart. So, I don't know. It's, you know, this seems a little bit more, what I've been doing today seems a little bit more textbook instead of just all the sporadic false labor that I've been having. And so, you never know. We'll see. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not even going to get my hopes up, but but I have been having that today. So, we'll see. I went and got a manicure and a pedicure, and it felt great. It was like amazing. And so I went and had that done. So, like right now I'm getting one that has like an edge to it. And the ones that I get now, when they have this edge, like I can feel it down low, like not like in my pelvis, not like pelvic pain, like I feel it like low, like inside. Like it makes me kind of just want to be like, just a minute. But not horrible at all. Not at all horrible. If this is something more legit, it's very early. But like I said, I don't really have any intuition about what's going to happen. Part of me feels very much like it's going to be forever. And part of me thinks, no, it's going to be sooner. And so I don't know. I don't know. Like, I just can't tell. This is the best and worst part of pregnancy to me, because it's the best because you're there, you know, and it's about to happen, and you're going to get to meet your baby, and you're going to get to go into labor, which, yeah, labor's painful, but it's also really exciting and neat. But it's the worst because you're kind of, you have like hit your pain threshold. You are uncomfortable, and it's also, you have a lot of anxiety, like anxiousness, like waiting, like, is this labor? Is this labor? Is this going to happen? And when am I going to go into labor? What's happening? Da da da. Is this ready? Is that ready? So it's like you've got like the best and the worst of everything, and that's just kind of the point you're at. But, you know, just staying positive, and I just hope she comes sooner than later. You know, I don't know. I just, well, and you know, to backtrack a little bit, when we were doing the ultrasound, all my fluid was so good. I didn't have too much fluid because I asked that, but they said the fluid I had, the pockets of fluid I had, were so good and so clear that they could see the baby's face way more than they said they normally could at 38 weeks. And we got this profile shot of her because there was this pocket of fluid right in front of her face, so we could see her profile. Usually at this point they're so smushed in there, it's hard to see anything. But we could just see her profile, and she was licking, like sticking her tongue out into the amniotic fluid. She was just like, and then she would like drink it, and it was, you could see it plain as day. And we saw her like breathing, like practice breathing, you know, like the fake breathing they do. We just saw her doing that, and she was like moving her hands and playing, and she just was moving so much, and you could see her so clearly. It was just really neat, you know. So I'm definitely, sometimes the baby seems like very abstract to me. Like I feel sometimes like I've not connected with her in this pregnancy the way I kind of did with Sophie. But I did this with Grayson a little bit too. It was like harder for me to connect to them in my stomach. But then I have these moments where I see things like that, or she moves, or I think about her as an actual infant, and I just get very like emotional and happy and excited to meet her. I'm like, oh yeah, this isn't just a pregnancy, this isn't just something we have to get ready for, this is a human being, this is, you know, my little baby, this is our little daughter. And that's just, I have to remind myself sometimes. I'm like, I stop and I think about that, and I'm like, this is so neat, you know, this is like a little baby, you know, another little person to add to our family is going to be here soon. And it's crazy. So hopefully sooner than later, right? And then, okay, so then the last thing I want to say is people wanted to know the Barrage oil, what brand I took. This is what I'm taking. I don't know if the camera can pick it up from there, but the brand is Vital Nutrients. So I will put, I'll find them online and put a link. So other than that, don't forget, go follow us on Instagram and our Facebook and our Twitter, because if something is actually happening, that is where we're going to post before YouTube. Like, we'll try to post to YouTube pretty quick, but more than likely we'll just grab a phone and be like, so go to those. I always put the links below. And also like links to things like we put up our big brother, big sister things, all of that. I have a lot of links to like where we buy some of that stuff on my Pinterest. So if you're into that, you can do that too, but whatever. And so yeah, other than that, as you can see, like I'm pretty happy. I get some days I get emotional. That's normal at the end of pregnancy, but in general, you know, I'm pretty happy. I'm kind of like, I'm like ready. Like it's not like I want to hurry this baby out, but at the same time, I'm like totally okay if she wants to just come. So yeah, I think I'll be like bouncing on the ball and stuff, trying to get her head to engage to like encourage this along. But anyway, all right, so that's it for now. I will show you guys my belly that got like ridiculous, and I will talk to everybody for an official update next week if I make the 39 weeks, which I don't know, probably will. We'll see. And other than that, remember daily vlogs every day. I upload them at night, so don't worry. Like I usually won't upload them till night, so like don't be like, oh no. If with us, Kyle and I, if something's happening, we'll let you know. Like we're not those people that don't post or talk. Like we won't leave people out of the loop. Like I have too many family members and close family friends that everybody will know. So no, from us, if there's no news, it's either like a window where we're trying to figure out if there's something to actually share, or there's no news. Like that's what I always say every time about everything. No news is no news for us. Like no news doesn't mean anything is not happening. It's just no news. So, okay, you guys, I'll talk to everybody later. I'll see you in the daily vlog upload tonight and tomorrow and so on until this little baby comes. And besides that, I'll see you guys next week. Baby dust to all my TPC friends, as always. I love you guys, and I will talk to you later.